Hi, Ugo.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I'm good. I was wondering if you had time to go over the informed consent that I sent you.
Yes, I have.
Okay, did you have any questions about it?
No, everything was pretty clear. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations for taking the step to coming to therapy. I know that it's not always easy, but I think it's a great choice. Yeah, and I just want to get to know a little bit about you and what brought you here today.
I am good and thank you for having me. Thank you. I know you are busy and you're able to schedule me at such a short notice, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I just want to talk to somebody generally about things going on in my life. I've had some good news, some bad news, but and then my work too. So I just want to, and of course, I recently started a program at my age. I am not very young. I am older, and I'm starting a course in counseling. So sometimes I wonder whether I made the right choice or not. So maybe I just want somebody to talk to me and maybe reassure me, reassurance, that kind of thing. So I just talk to somebody.
Okay. What made you want to start that counseling course?
Um, because I second guess myself sometimes, um, because I think I should help people. At the same time, I wonder, am I doing the right things? In terms of should I be taking up so much at my age? So, but it's okay.
What do
Um,
you do for work right now?
I'm a doctor, and
Oh,
yeah, and sometimes it gets busy. So sometimes I wonder, did I make the right choice? But the truth is that actually I went for the program that I'm on. We had a residency week. And to be honest, that settled it in my mind. I made the right choice. After that
yeah.
residency, I was content. I was happy. But I
Yeah.
just to still talk to somebody to that I can be talking to just in case I have any emotional issues. So I wanted to start therapy. So just to, somebody to keep me straight in my emotions.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything that's happened recently that you wanted to talk about today?
Actually, yes. It was a bit of a shock. My son, well, I became a Christian as a young adult, and I, my husband is a Christian. I've raised my children in a Christian household, and then my youngest son went to college, and then first semester came back from college and gave us a bombshell that he doesn't believe in God anymore. So that was a bombshell for me.
What did it feel like to hear him say that? What was that like for you?
I was shocked, to be honest. But then I said, okay, the devil wants you. I am going to fight for you. I am going to give it my all to make sure. But not physical fight, but I know that, a lot of things are spiritual. So I just told myself I was going to really pray. And it's funny because some time ago I don't know, I just had this burden in my heart to be praying for my children more, to be honest, And at
Mm-hmm.
the time, I didn't really get clearly what I was supposed to be really praying about, but I stayed praying for my kids, more every day. So when this, happened, I said, oh, could it be what God was impressing my mind to pray about, But I because of that, I said, okay, I just have war in my hands that I'm going to fight, and I have my love for my son is going to motivate me to do everything I can, to make sure he comes back to the Lord.
What does that look like, fighting for your son?
It's actually great because it's made me even get closer to God, and it makes me, stay in His presence even more. And the good thing about it is that I'm seeing results, When this first happened, if you tell him to come to church, he won't even, it was a struggle. But now, every Sunday he dresses up and he goes to church, with us. So I'm happy. I'm seeing positive, encouraging, results. So that makes me happy, and that encourages me to trust God more. And I'm looking forward to the day that I'm going to give this testimony in church, how everything went down and how he came back.
Mhm. What is what would the perfect outcome of this situation look like for you?
The perfect outcome for me would be he gives his life to Christ and he testifies by himself, letting people know what actually happened, because I don't know the details of what happened in school. The only thing he told me was that he had this psychology class, and the teacher was, was giving them reasons why um, there was no that reasons why there is no God, something like that. So
Yeah.
the perfect outcome for me would be to testify, not just I see changes in him, but I want him to come out and say, because I want this to encourage other young people, to be honest, because you know, um, the devil thought the devil thought he won the battle by trying to take my son, but my perfect outcome would be the devil to be put to shame. Not only will he come back, he will be an instrument to get other children back. That the devil will know the mistake he made in the first place by coming close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you saying that you're going to fight for your son and that you want the perfect outcome would be for him to come back on his own terms and then to be able to testify about it. So, yeah, I really hope that that's the outcome that happens.
And the
Is there
good,
anything? Sorry.
I was trying to say that the good thing about it is, another thing I've noticed recently is that he's on his own, he's spending more time with me. Actually, yesterday he came home for the weekend because his school's in the college here. So he came home for the weekend, and it was like a midterm they had. So he went back this morning. But yesterday evening, I was just laying down in bed and he came and got into bed with me. He had some homework to do. He hasn't done that in a while. He's a big boy now. Hasn't done that in a while. So I was kind of happy. So yeah, I feel like things are going in the right direction, and that warms my heart.
How old is your son?
He's 19.
Okay. Yeah, so I hear you say that it made you happy when he came and got in your bed. Did that like remind you of any other time before from when he was younger or anything?
Yes, yes. He's a baby. He's my last born. So when he was much younger, he used to come around, stay with me. And yeah, actually, of all my kids, he's the one that will follow me to places, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it was good.
How many kids do you have?
I have three. I have three. My first one lives, she's a girl. That's my only girl, my daughter. She lives in New York. She works there. My second son went to LSU, that's Louisiana State University, and he decided to stay back in Louisiana. He's actually teaching in their public school system. And then my last one is in University of Maryland here in Maryland.
Oh, so you live in Maryland?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Has anything else been going on in your life, or is it mostly just stuff with your son? Anything else at work going on?
Not necessarily at work. Some things have been going on in my family, in my home country, in Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. So I have uncles and aunties so I recently lost my one of my uncles. That was sudden. Um, so I was sad about that, but God has consoled me about that. I have a very good support system in my siblings, my biological siblings. They were very supportive. So by God's grace, I'm good. And it's just that there's so much need in my country, so much need in my country. So a lot of people depend on us. So but we do the best we can. Yeah, so that's it. So that's something that has happened recently.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. Were you saying that you support family members in Nigeria?
Yes, yes. I support family members in Nigeria. The Nigerian economy is bad, but mainly because we have very bad leaders. We have resources. That country is supposed to be a very rich country, but we have very bad leaders. Um,
Mhm.
and actually, that upsets me sometimes when I think about it. It's very upsetting because, things that you think that should work or work out in my country don't work out. Sometimes, like when people die, you wonder, is it really their time to die? Or is it just because of mismanagement? You know? So yeah, that can make somebody angry sometimes, because you think about what should have been done, and if it's not done, you worry, why wasn't it done?
Yeah, I heard you say like it can make someone angry. Does it make you angry?
It makes me angry because especially when it's a loved one.
Mm,
Overall, it makes me angry because you're worried that who else can this happen to? You're worried that are people dying their natural deaths, or are people dying because things are not provided by those in authority? So, but the thing is, and it's frustrating too, because I'm here, there's a limit to what you can do in terms of the people in authority over there. So you end up supporting your family members the much you can. And when you have an opportunity to go home, you make the difference that you can make and you come back. So my anger is from worrying about the people at home.
So I hear you saying there's a fear that underlines that anger.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. How often is it that you get to go home?
I try to go home every other year.
Oh.
I try to go home once in 2 years. And but thank God for Zoom. With Zoom, you can talk to people, you can, you do a whole lot, communication is so much better now. So,
Yeah.
but there's still nothing like being physically present with somebody. So I try to go home as much as I can. Sometimes if I'm able to go home, I mean, normally I go home every other year, like once every 2 years. But if I'm able to go home in between, and I take the opportunity.
Okay. You're usually able to like get off of work and everything to go do that?
To go home?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Usually I plan ahead because if I want to go home, I cannot go home for 1 week. That doesn't make sense. I have to
Yeah.
I have to go home minimum of 2 weeks, because just the flight going, just one day is already off traveling home, another one day is off coming back. So you have to have at least 10 days to 14 days to if you want to go home. So it's something I have to schedule ahead of time. Tell my colleagues, listen, I'm going to be away at this time. And so, you take the opportunity and then you go home so that you can get a good coverage while you travel.
Yeah. Um, so we're coming up on the end of our session. Um, Thank you for telling me about yourself today. I've learned a lot and I'm excited to continue on this journey with you and see the progress that we make together. Um, is there anything that stood out to you today from our session or anything that you want to focus in on more next session?
I think one thing that stood out today from this session is getting to know that my anger over those in authority in my country also stems from the fear of, things that can go wrong because of mismanagement, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people just not be doing the right things, so
Yeah.
yeah, so it's something for me to dig into deeper and see.
Yeah, we could definitely do that together too. Is it okay if I give you some homework for the next
Oh,
week?
yes,
Okay, so I was wondering if you could write down your goals that you want to accomplish in therapy. I know we talked about a little bit, but if you could write down a couple goals and then we can go over them and just make sure that we're managing them and checking in on them throughout our sessions.
very well. I'll do that.
Okay, awesome. Does this time next week work for you to schedule it again?
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. Well, it was great to get to know you a little bit. Thanks for coming today, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Miss Lauren.
Of course. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.